Good morning. All right, let's wait a couple of minutes. Sorry, I missed you guys last week. This holiday time is crazy.
And you have been super busy. I love it. So cool.
I have so much stuff going on. It's
Really nice. Nice.
yeah, but I feel like everyone's busy, so
Everyone is. Yeah, it's all good.
yeah. So anything you would like to role play?
Oh man. I can't think of anything off the top of my head per se.
Mhm.
Um, do we have enough people on here today?
People will probably show up. This is actually the last one.
Oh,
Uh,
is it?
yeah,
Oh,
the last one for the future playbook.
oh, okay.
So I don't know what they're gonna do going forward.
Well, yeah, I didn't re-up my coaching sesh for next the next 6 months anyway. So
Jennifer, would you like to rope? Jennifer's actually on my team. See
oh,
if
Hi.
Hey Jennifer, would you like to role play anything?
So we can role play. I actually met a client last night at the event.
Mhm.
We can. I'm planning to schedule a meeting when he's back in town. So basically, I think we can role play when I have a meeting with him next week.
Okay, so what's the goal of the conversation?
Uh, this is what I heard. I heard someone told me he was looking for a year, and he couldn't find anything or just didn't pull the trigger. So I'm trying to understand why.
So the goal of the conversation is to find out why he hasn't purchased anything yet.
Yeah, and he actually showed me something he's interested, mostly like a Soho loft, really large open space,
Mhm.
and actually getting a deal, hopefully getting a deal in the village
Mhm.
townhouse, $10 million townhouse, but he doesn't have a broker represent him yet. However, he already did the contract, everything, nothing signed. So I just curious if somehow I'm able to help him with that as well.
So he has an accepted offer on a property.
No, he just I wasn't really sure what was going on, and basically he has negotiating with only the seller's broker. He doesn't have a buyer's broker, and I think it's in the beginning stage. I don't think he has a sign. I don't think he has like accepted offer or anything. There's a tenant in place, probably like 5 floors.
I'm sorry, you're not being clear right now.
Yeah,
So
not
to,
very
to,
clear. So I think
to-
my goal is try to understand what's going on.
okay. So and how do you meet this guy?
Last night, it's a friend went to the holiday party, met him at the party.
Okay, great. All right. So am I being the agent or you being the agent?
I want to be the client.
Okay. Ring, ring, ring.
Hi, Justin.
Hey Jennifer, nice seeing you last night. How you doing today?
Yes, last night was great. Thanks for coming. Good, I'm doing good. Actually
Well,
getting on the train, getting on the plane.
oh, do you have a minute to chat? Is it a good time to
Yeah,
talk?
sure.
Cool. So I just wanted to check in with you. Just wanted to see how the purchasing process has been. Just wanted to see, if I could help you at all.
Sure. So it's a little tricky situation. Trying to get my brother with me and a few other friends to invest in this place, and then we're gonna have to do a renovation, everything, and then hopefully to rent it out to make 20% profit.
So it sounds like you guys want to purchase this, renovate it, then resell it. Is that correct?
I just rent out to make 20% profit.
So you guys want to make a 20% cap rate as a rental?
Yeah. So like the money I put in, plus renovation, everything. The rent will cover for sure, and then 20% on top of that.
And what are you guys purchasing this property for? What price?
About 10.
10 million?
Yeah.
And are you guys buying cash or are you guys purchasing with a mortgage?
Talking to a couple of places, FHA loan. Sounds like the best they can do is 5.2. Do you have another mortgage person that can do better?
So you guys are purchasing a $10 million property with an FHA loan
Mm-hmm.
and putting 5% down?
Yes.
So to be clear, so you guys want to make 20% on the monthly payment or on the overall purchase price?
This is a purchase price.
So then you guys are planning to resell it?
No, we're just gonna buy and hold and rent it out.
All right, Jennifer, let's stop. Like, this doesn't make sense. Like, this doesn't, one, to get an FHA property, I don't even think you could get an FHA property on $10 million loan. That's first of all. Like, let's stop. Two, if you want to make a 20% profit, you have to resell it. So that doesn't make sense. You have to resell it or you have to refinance.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Maybe I heard it wrong. Like it was just not very clear last night. I couldn't hear much.
well, you're gonna learn today. So like if you wanna make a 20% profit on buying, you have to either resell it, you have to renovate it, resell it, or you have to refinance. That's the only way you're making a 20% profit.
Refinance. He did mention that. Yes.
And the likelihood of you getting a 20% cap rate in New York City is not very likely. And if you did get it, you should buy it. If you did find it,
I buy it.
exactly. So let's be clear. So this comes with market knowledge. You have to do your homework prior to having this call.
Well, it does sound too good to be true. That's what I said. And then most of the developer, he has lots of developer friends. They were saying, if they can make this happen, that's incredible because many people are waiting for it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I don't know, but first, yeah, you want to, find out what exactly the situation is because this doesn't even make sense.
Okay.
What do you think, Iris?
Yeah, I definitely revisit that conversation and get as much information as possible because it doesn't make sense. In order for you to gain any money, 20%, you'd have to sell it, resell it, or refinance, as Justin just mentioned. But given the situation, FHA, first of all, may not be able to finance this much. So that's a problem. And then with a 5% down payment, there's just no way that's going to happen.
Maybe he's not calculating the mortgage into it.
No,
the numbers don't make sense.
Yeah, nothing about this situation makes sense. Like one FHA, the max is $1 million.
Yeah.
That's number one.
All right.
Number
So
two,
at the same time, he said, okay, this is somewhere he will buy and rent it out. And then also on the side, he will need something for himself as well, to live.
Yeah, you definitely have to revisit this conversation. There's a lot of gaps there.
Okay.
yeah, if people could do FHA loans, like every investor in New York City would do an FHA loan.
Justin, you'll be killing it.
Yeah, like
Killing it, Justin.
every person in New York City would do an FHA loan.
Right.
Okay.
All right. Anything else? Should we role play anything else?
I'm good.
Sammy, Patty.
This is my first time in. I know this is the last class of the year, but I just signed up for next year's full year training. Yeah, so I'm excited for next year. I just wanted to jump in and see what this was all about.
Yeah, so basically the point of role playing is one, to practice on each other versus practicing on a client. That way we don't lose the client. And then two is just formulated a conversation around the goal, right? So like just say if you're doing a buyer's consultation, like what the goal of the conversation, and practice, just the just the conversation around it, and then come up with an action plan after. And then same thing with sellers. So basically any scenario, whether there's a price drop conversation, which has been pretty common. Um, Interest rates going up for buyers has been pretty common conversation lately. So those type of conversations as an example.
I have a scenario, if I may. I met someone and I showed a property, and it was the first time us meeting and going out. And so I sent them a follow-up, and they responded that their partner is indecisive
Hmm.
and will get back to me when they're ready.
Okay.
So how do I go in, right?
So is this a buyer or seller?
This is a buyer.
Okay. And so it's a couple, and then one of they like the property that you showed them.
Apparently, and that's fine. I want to, you know, follow up and keep going with them. So how
Mhm.
do I secure without being so pushy?
So have you ever asked like who's the decision maker in terms of viewing the property
No,
when you when they
no.
come? So maybe I would maybe figure out who's the decision maker, and just I would bring up, just a conversation like, I know you were pretty interested in a property. What's holding you back on potentially making an offer? And because this maybe just like it's the holidays, I feel like no one's like urgently looking or urgently want to submit an offer.
Right, right. So those were my thoughts. I'm
Yeah.
like, you know what? Let me just give them a couple of days and just go back there and say, hey, what's going on? What are your thoughts? Did you want to um, look at anything else? Do you want me to look for you?
Yeah.
Um, and just or try to build a relationship with them first without, I don't know.
Yeah, so yeah, that's a good plan. So like follow up with them, give them an update on the property, then just see like exactly what you said. Like, what were your thoughts? Like find out like what are the next steps, because they just probably put in a pause for the holidays.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. That sounds
Then
like
then Chirag is actually coming out. He has a talk with Robert Refkin today, and
oh yeah.
he's gonna give us a payment calculator, which is great for buyers. So I've actually worked on a spreadsheet with him this weekend. So that could another be a touch point follow up. Like,
Cool. That's
if
at
you
one
just
o'clock today? Is that
yeah,
at 1 o'clock? Okay.
yeah, it's like 1:30, but he's gonna send that out to everyone, and that'll be another touch point where, like, if you decided to wait, and then if the interest rate went up, this is how it would affect your monthly payment and things like that.
Right,
Right? To
right,
create some
right,
type of
right,
urgency.
right.
Because
Correct.
like every buyer's mentality is like, should I just wait and like, will the market come down like 50%? Like, buyers always think like that. Like, there's just going to
Right.
be like everyone is going to sell for a 50% discount.
Can I ask you something else? Have you been successful with pitching or speaking with sellers and but with the buy downs, the 1 to 2 year buy downs? Have you been
I mean,
successful?
yeah. So basically, so my whole method when I meet with a seller is basically ask them, try to figure out like what price would they sell for. And the way I ask that, I would look at the recent comps, like 30 to 60 days, and see, get a gauge of what the number would be that I think the property's worth based on the
Right.
comp, and tell them a number that's 10% lower. So I will ask them, so for example, if it's $1 million property, I'll ask them, what if you had an offer, if you had a contract in front of you for 950, what would you do? If a seller says, go F yourself, you know,
Right.
talking about the buyer, then they're not a real seller, right? But if the seller said, I would consider it, then you have wiggle room, right?
Okay.
So at that point, if you know the seller's a real seller, you could work that out where if you know the property's actually worth $1 million based on today's numbers, you have some type of window to like work in a buy down, right?
Okay.
So it's just basically like just a psychology game and just trying to get a gauge of like how much room like you have. Because like most of my sellers, they say, listen, like if you get a price, if you get this offer, you could just accept it. So they typically give me like that, they give me that
Right.
authority. But like, so I always try to get the gauge from my seller. That way, like if an offer does come in, I could tell the buyer, like, the seller would potentially be interested in buying at your rate and things like that. But Iris, for you specifically, I know you're in New York and New Jersey. First Republic actually they offer 4.5% on
Yeah,
some zip.
First Republic is, I hear you. It sounds all good, but they're tough. It's not that easy to get, but I hear you.
Well, I mean, I'm closing a deal with them this week. No, next
Yep.
week.
Yeah, they're strict on their down payments and
Yeah, that's the only thing.
that's what I mean. That's what I mean.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
So,
but yeah,
so basically, to buy down the rate just for math purposes, is 1%
right.
loan amount. So,
Okay.
if it's a $1 million loan, $10,000, right? So it's it's just kind of you got to get a gauge of where the seller's at and how much wiggle room.
Right. So that'll be, so in other words, if it's $1 million and he gets an offer of 950, we can then tell the buyer, hey, look, what if we get the seller to buy down a percentage point? Can you come up higher?
Exactly.
Okay.
And so that calculator that Chirag is going
Right.
to issue, that will help with that conversation also, because you can actually show them the math,
Okay.
right?
Understood. Thank you.
And yeah, so. Anyone else have any questions?
Anybody got a New Jersey referral? Okay.
Maybe I'll be your referral in New Jersey. I'm always looking for
I
property.
love that. Let's
Yeah.
do it, Justin. I love
Yeah,
that.
I bought my first investment property in Newark.
Oh, Newark is where to go in Patterson.
Yeah, so I'll hit you up when I'm ready.
Cool. All right.
All right, guys. Well, I'll take off. Thank you so much. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays to all.
Yeah.
See you soon.
And Iris, let's stay in touch. Everybody, let's stay in touch, and I hope to see you next.
All right. Thank you, Justin. Bye.